What's going on, my dudes? This is Math Time with Mr. G, and today we're just going to do a topic to review. We covered a lot, so let's go over it. So the first thing is scientific notation. It goes 3.12 times 10 to the fifth. This is a really big number because this is positive. How we got there is 3, and they moved the decimal 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they'd given us a really small number, 0.0000123, I would have had to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it's 1.3 times 10 small 5 times. Next thing is multiplying and dividing with exponents. So if I had 7x squared times 3x, that would mean 7 times 3, which is 21. This x didn't have an exponent, so I have to give it the number 1. And then when multiplying with exponents, it's like adding. So 2 plus 1 is 3. And then in the reverse, so let's say that they give us 35 x to the 7 over 5 x to the 9. I just divide the whole numbers. So 35 divided by 5 is 5. And then if I wrote 7 x's on the top, 9 x's on the bottom, and then crossed out their pairs, there would be 2 x's left over on the bottom. So subtraction, it's 9 minus 7. Okay, anything to the power of 0 is the number 1. So if they give me 7x to the power of 0, that really means 7 times 1, or 7. And then power to power, let's say I have 3x squared to the power of 3. So this 3 needs an exponent right here. So we're going to give it the number 1, and then multiply every exponent inside. So now it's 3 to the power of 3, and x to the power of 6, because 2 times 3. And then 3 times 3 times 3, because it's 3 times, is 27. Negative exponents. So let's say I have x to the negative 2, y to the negative 3, z squared over x squared, y to the negative 4, z. So what this means is negative exponents have to move. So if they're on the top, they move down. So now I have x squared goes down. y3 goes down. And z squared stays the same because it's a positive 2. On the bottom, this x squared stays. This negative 4 has to move. And this z can stay. Then we multiply across or divide. So this y and this y. 4 on top, 3 on the bottom would leave 1 on top. Z's, there's 2 z's on top, 1 z on the bottom. So that leaves 1 z on top. And there's a total of 4 x's on the bottom. Converting a decimal to a fraction, if it is repeating, we take the pattern and we put it over 9. If it stops and there's just a single number, we put that number, we match the number of zeros and then put a 1 in front and then reduce if we can. And then estimating radicals. So the square root of 27 doesn't exist, but it's between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. We always use the smaller one, so it's going to be 5 point something. If it's closer to 25, it's going to be 0.1. If it's closer to 36, we're going to say 0.7. So 27 is closer to 25, so we're going to say 5.1. Other than that, be kind to one another, ask lots of questions, and think deeply.